Oh, g'day guys. Been a little bit spasmodic with previews the last few weeks, but I thought I might try and pop one up for tonight. Must admit it's not a meeting. I'm not overly keen on the meeting, but going to have something on a few at a touch of value, not sort of bolters odds, but finish on the right side of the ledger if one or maybe two of them get up. So anyway, we'll run through it. It's just for a kick off. We'll just see here we've got a new website coming. We might just click on that and wait for it to open. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, there's good old Bernie. Anyway, yeah, so you see there's not too much difference. It's just a few other little things on it. You can see you've got the markets at the top. You can click on them directly. In the fields, they have the actual prices next to them on the day. I'm not sure if it's early on Sunday morning here, but yeah, sort of down here on the day you'll have the actual odds as well, which is pretty good initiative, and a few other things on there as well. Down the bottom you can click straight on the social media sites, YouTube video replays of trials, etc. There's not too much difference. Virtually the same old, rehashed it a little bit, but I think it's more friendly for devices, and like everything, first impressions count. So if you see a upgraded version, gives people a better first impression. So yeah, all good. So we'll get into the actual preview side of it. The first concession drivers race. Hate the term novice driver. So it's actually pretty tough here. Major Domain about 6 weeks ago would probably be short price favourite and win. I just haven't been overly convinced with his last couple, but so obviously you've got to respect him. Like all the top 5 are probably the major players. Demonstrative was backed and beaten a few times last time in, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes first up. Ultimate Courage is going well, but it's a tricky draw, bit of speed underneath, so just needs a bit of luck early. The one I think's the safest play is Lockaway Casey. She'll be making her own luck on speed. She can do some work. Think anything about $4 is worth a play, but yeah, tricky little affair to kick things off. The second, a lot of gate speed here. You got here the Cole's not blazing out, but he does like to lead in his races. William Tell's obviously got good gate speed. It's what I like about you, can fly the gate. So it could get interesting early. Jillaby Gigi, she's a tough mare. And the one I've settled on's here the Cole. Goes up in grade from last time, when I really liked his run last time when he did a ton of work to get to the death and stuck to his guns well late. I think a lot depends on whether he can hold up and lead. If he does, he'll just keep chugging along and give him something to catch. Should be quite backable, about $5 or so. One here might be a bit of value is On Full Tilt. His figure form's nothing to write home about, but has had no luck at all recently. So, and if the speed's on, it might be, it's obviously going to get a soft run from the gate, so might be one worth throwing a few coins on as a saver. But here the call, I'll be definitely having something on. Obviously William Tell. Last year's 3-year-olds, obviously all pretty good. He's definitely in the second tier. There's no disgrace in that. And might just be too good, but I'm just not convinced he's going to find the front, and he's going to be short odds. So happy to have something on here the call with a little saver On Full Tilt. Third, sort of typically tough short course stand. Can make a case for 7 or 8 of them. Picking a couple out, obviously Full Speed Ahead was okay at Tasmania debut. It's hard to actually analyse the run. It was sort of bailed up on the fence and sort of didn't get any momentum late, but obviously did enough to suggest it's going to be competitive. The price might be, you might want sort of better odds. Stylish Trends one who's going a lot better than figure form suggests. Crafty Old Fox are one of these recently. Be Good Franklin always begins well as Della's command. Lord Jones obviously been placed in 3 of these exact races recently. Live Lavish was very good in the first Tasmania run. She's very quick over 200 metres, so if she gets the right run. And even Pushkin got sort of knocked over at the start last week and stuck to his guns pretty well. And I can see him pinging off 10 metres and being up on the speed early. So in these type of races, I never like taking shortish odds. So I reckon I'll have something on Stylish Trend and something on Pushkin as well. I think you'll get close to sort of double figures, both of them. So we don't have to bust the bank to have an interest in the race, but there's a few good sit sprinters that get the right run. Full speed ahead. Live Lavish going to be mighty tough to beat, but Stylish Trend's one that I've actually liked all its run since coming to Tassie. It's first go on a stand. Actually, might go and have a look at its last run. Right, so Stylish Trend.
To the Richardson stable now.
We'll just... So here it is here, 5 back the inside. So it's last on the fence. Ultimate Winners in front of it comes out. It sticks to the inside and virtually is hard held for the last 200 metres. Let's see it here. It looked to be a bit of horse left there. As I said, first go at the stand start, so hard to be ultra confident, but I just think at the odds, definitely worth something. The 4th barrier draw has really made this race tough to work out. Got a number of them. Cooler Julie was super last week. They did stagger home, which may have flattered her a little, but she obviously went enormous. Classy Guy, was it too bad to be true, first up in Tassie. Grinnable might be run to suit him. Sheer Strength went like a Learjet 2 starts ago and then was terrible last week, so which one's going to turn up? Both Spitfire Rose and Mellow Lynn made ground in, I think they both ran in the 26s their last quarter. Another swing and won the race. Forced to pick one. I'd actually go Spitfire Rose. The draw might actually be a semi-blessing in disguise. I can see the speed on. She'll keep coming all the way to the line. She's going to be barred away up on the fence. If she doesn't get out, she doesn't get out. But I can see the gaps opening over the last 400 or 500 metres, and she's going to keep coming all the way to the line. So forced to pick one, I'd go her. And even a couple of bucks on Mellow Lynn. Sort of been on his wagon for a while. But the 5th's another tough one in that you've got Lady Nikita is disappointed since resuming. Warrior Mac trialled okay the other day. He's got good gate speed. I'm just not sure if he crosses the pole. Smiling Jeff, don't think there's much doubt he should have won last time, but does have gate speed inside him. And Sultan Fella's the other one. He's actually going very well, but it is Sultan Fella. He has to be driven ultra conservatively. If he gets the right run in, he'll probably just win. I do think one of 2, 4 or 11 will win the race, but it's one of those things, just not confident enough in how the race is going to be run to isolate one of them. The 6th is also tricky. You've got a Largy resuming. Stable's going well. The issue here is that there's a lot of speed drawn wide on the front, so might actually get softened up a bit. Roll West's one I've been throwing out to everybody for a couple of months, so apologies for that, and I think he owes us all a bit of money, as I think a few of us are on the bandwagon now. But once again, he's drawn terribly. The Aussie, the well-deserved win last time after being pretty good in defeat. First up in Tassie, mightn't be the worst draw in the world, but not going to have much value. I think the one will be silly odds is Out to Strike. It was very impressive winning 2 straight starts back, then pulled himself into the ground last time, so totally forgive the 0. So forced to pick 1 in the race, I'd probably back Out to Strike each way, but 0 confidence there. The 7th, I think it's fair to say this isn't the best race you'll ever see. So you're looking at them, you've got the Ala Felipe, who's new season 3-year-old, yesterday. So, he's well bred. The thing about him though, he's not bomb proof at the moment. Tends to run his races in patches, switches on and off. And I think he's going to be served up short odds. Even like you can't beat a Mint, hasn't been far away, but hasn't been placed in 31 career runs, which sums the race up a bit that he's a chance. But the one I'm actually settling on here is Ab's Boy. I might go and we'll just have a look at its last run. I'm going to have a look at the replay in a second. So it got beaten 20 metres, but it was farcically run race. You can see like they've run a lead time, the go that can stand starts, and then a 33 first quarter. So it's impossible to make ground. If we look at some of the horses back in the field, you see the ones that made ground, Triple H Fella and the Aussie came out and ran first and second in a race in Launceston last week. Roll West went good again. Crowder Cruise came out and won in Launceston, and Striker smashed the clock in Launceston last week. And My Judan climbing all over them in a race in Launceston last week. So the form around this race isn't terrible. And we're just going to have a look at the replay of it. Right, so Ab's Boy, 5th of 12 in Hobart.
With numbers 11.
So we'll just go to the slip. So here he is. Here, as I said, they've gone ridiculously slowly up front. So here he's just gone back to the inside here. And so here's Crowder Cruiser came out and won. Striker smashed the clock. Here's the Aussie who came out and won in Launceston. He's gone at least as good as these horses. And gets into a much weaker race. So he's still, sneaking up the inside here. Looks to be a little bit of horse left there. And these two horses here ran first and second in Launceston last week. So, I think in a pretty average affair, he might be well worth an investment. And I'll be probably putting the queue in the rack after race 7. We've got the stand start claimer. Barney's been pretty good to me lately, so got him on top, but I'm sure Zell not taking short odds off 10 metres in a short course stand. And Resurgent Dream should be winning the last. It won't be pretty, but she's just a good, tough, I suppose she's a mare now, I was going to call her a filly, but you think she'd be winning. So so might just pick out, point out the ones that I think might be worth an investment. As I said, there's no max bets or dead set morals. So Lockaway Casey in the first, probably anything around, there's a good old dollar sign, $4. I think it's not bad shopping. Hear the Call and On Full Tilt, probably want about, say, if you get $6 here, the Call, I think he's worth an investment, and On Full Tilt about 12s. In this race, you got Stylish Trend and Pushkin. You probably want $10. Whoops, $10 Pushkin, and maybe about $8 Stylish Trend. Spitfire Rose, I'm happy to be honest, you probably want near $5 from the draw, just on a risk-free reward basis. And then we're probably Ab's Boy. Haven't actually priced the race, but it's pretty thin. Even about 350, I'd be happy to take the punt. Yeah, so probably forced to pick one out of all of those. I'm probably the first couple. I think I said it's a tough race the first, but Lockaway Casey's going to be on speed, making your own luck. And I always tend to err on those ones when I'm selecting them because they're making their own luck. So you very rarely have sob stories afterwards. And happy to back both 1 and 2 in the second. So hopefully we can sneak one of the winners early and pace for the rest of the night. So anyway, guys, we might wrap it up there. So until next week, we'll wrap it up. Thanks again.